Have you ever wondered if we are fully human, or if, deep down, we're an amalgamation of countless microscopic life forms? Believe it or not, the cells that make up your muscles, bones, and brain aren't the only ones calling your body home. In fact, if we look closely, we find that bacteria, fungi, and even viruses make up a huge part of who we are, or at least who we think we are. In this video, we'll explore the surprising truth behind our microbial companions, highlight how they help us survive, and examine some fascinating remnants of ancient organisms like the mitochondria that still dwell in our cells. By the end, you might be left asking, am I truly me or a crowd of others? Let's find out. Not too long ago, scientists used to claim that bacteria in and on our body outnumbered our human cells by a whopping 10 to 1. More recent studies refined that estimate, bringing it closer to a 1-to-1 ratio, sometimes slightly less, depending on factors like body size or gut contents. But even at a 1-to-1 ratio, that still means half of the cells living in and on you aren't actually yours in the traditional sense. What does that mean for who we are? Well, these bacteria, often referred to as our microbiome, influence digestion, immunity, and even mood. Some scientists call them our forgotten organ. Hard to believe that trillions of microbes exert so much control over how we feel and function. Yet, it's all happening at a scale we can't see with the naked eye. Bacteria get most of the attention, but they're not the only visitors. Fungi, like yeasts, also colonize parts of our body, including our skin and mucous membranes. Then there are viruses, many of them peaceful inhabitants, known as the virome. Most are harmless, though some can turn dangerous under certain conditions. What's really astonishing is how symbiotic these relationships can be. Some bacteria produce vital vitamins, break down dietary fibers we can't digest on our own, and train our immune system to recognize friend from foe. Meanwhile, certain species of fungi also help keep harmful microbes in check. Far from being mere hitchhikers, these microorganisms play an essential role in shaping our overall health. If that weren't surprising enough, we're also carrying around remnants of what were once separate bacteria in our very own cells. Enter the mitochondria, these tiny powerhouses found in almost every human cell. Mitochondria have their own genetic code, distinct from the DNA in your cell's nucleus. It's widely accepted that, over 1 billion years ago, a larger ancestral cell engulfed a bacterium, which then became a permanent resident, eventually turning into the mitochondrion. Today, mitochondria crank out ATP, the energy currency of life, without which you'd be utterly lifeless. So, in a sense, we're direct beneficiaries of an ancient endosymbiosis that formed the foundation for complex life. And let's not forget our immune system. Certain white blood cells, like macrophages, move and engulf invaders in a way reminiscent of amoebas slurping up their prey. They crawl through tissues, detecting pathogens or debris, and phagocytose them, essentially swallowing them whole. Though these cells belong to our own biology, their behavior is surprisingly similar to single-celled organisms that roam ponds and devour food particles. In one sense, we carry within us an entire arsenal of microbehaviors, cells that act like independent life forms, even while being part of our unified body plan. Beyond mitochondria, there are other biological clues hinting at our multi-organismic heritage, tiny compartments that break down toxic byproducts like hydrogen peroxide. Though their exact origin is still debated, some researchers once proposed they arose from bacterial endosymbiosis, much like mitochondria. Even if that's not definitively proven, their efficient, bacteria-like metabolic role is hard to ignore. And then there's something even more surprising: endogenous retroviruses. About 8% of the human genome is viral in origin, left over from infections that integrated into our ancestors' DNA. Instead of being harmful hitchhikers, these ancient viral genes can help regulate processes like embryo implantation or immunity. It's as if every bit of life that once invaded our lineage now leaves a genetic footprint we carry forward, sometimes for our own benefit. So, what does it mean to be human if half our cells are microbes, and our very cells contain old bacterial symbionts like mitochondria? Perhaps it means we're best understood as a collective rather than a single entity. Is really us, billions of separate creatures living in a highly choreographed dance of biochemistry and cooperation. It's humbling to think that while we walk around believing we're individuals, we're actually an entire ecosystem. Embracing that ecosystem, feeding it well, limiting harmful intruders, and respecting our ancient alliances may be key to living healthier, fuller lives. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the microbiome, mitochondria, and our immune system's microscopic defenders. If you enjoyed this glimpse into our multi-species existence, please like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to share your thoughts. Do you feel more or less human now that you know you're outnumbered by microbial guests?